Imagine this: you retire at 65, expecting decades of leisure ahead. But what if that retirement keeps slipping further and further away? What if you're working until you're 90, or even 120? Sounds crazy, right? But it might not be so far-fetched. Life expectancy is rising steadily across the globe. Advances in medicine, technology, and living conditions mean we're living longer than ever before. In fact, many experts predict that a significant portion of today's young adults could live well beyond 100 years. That's fantastic news, except for one glaring problem: our traditional retirement model wasn't designed for this. The old formula, work hard for 40 years, retire at 65, and enjoy 20 or so years of rest, is becoming obsolete. The truth is, retirement ages are creeping up in almost every country. Governments face massive financial strain supporting longer retirements with shrinking workforces and stretched social security systems. So, they're raising the retirement age, sometimes to 70 or beyond. Elon Musk even suggested people might work until they die, pushing this idea into the spotlight. But why exactly? Here's the math: if you live longer but retire at the same age, you'll be drawing on retirement funds for more years than originally planned. Pension plans, 401ks, and Social Security weren't built to sustain payouts for 40 or 50 years. The math simply doesn't add up. This puts enormous pressure on both public finances and personal savings. Social Security systems struggle to stay solvent because fewer workers pay into the system while more retirees take benefits. On a personal level, saving enough money to last 30, 40, or 50 years without a paycheck is daunting. Many simply aren't prepared. Then there's the rise of the gig economy and remote work. For some, traditional retirement is shifting from a sudden stop to a gradual transition. Instead of quitting cold turkey, people may reduce hours or switch to less demanding jobs. But that still means working into old age, often because they need the income. What about health? Longer life is great, but health span, the years lived in good health, is what really matters. Chronic illnesses and cognitive decline can make working difficult for many seniors. This creates a vicious cycle: needing to work longer but struggling to perform, potentially worsening quality of life. On the flip side, some experts argue that working longer can be a blessing in disguise. Staying active and engaged can improve mental health, provide social connection, and give a sense of purpose. Retirement boredom is real, and many retirees wish they had something meaningful to do. So, working later in life isn't necessarily bad if it's by choice and aligns with personal passion or purpose. So what does this mean for you? First, it's time to rethink retirement. Waiting until 65 and hoping to coast through a long, carefree retirement might be unrealistic. Instead, think about creating multiple income streams, investments, passive income, side hustles, that can support you well into your 80s, 90s, or beyond. Second, financial independence becomes critical. The more you can rely on assets and investments rather than traditional pensions or Social Security, the more control you have over your working life. Saving aggressively, investing wisely, and planning for decades of financial needs is the new normal. Third, embrace lifelong learning and adaptability. Careers won't be static. You might shift industries, learn new skills, or reinvent yourself multiple times. Staying relevant and employable can extend your working life in a way that's fulfilling, not just necessary. Finally, focus on your health. Investing in physical and mental wellness is just as important as financial planning. Longer life means you need the stamina and vitality to enjoy it, whether you're working or retired. To sum it up, the idea of retiring at 65 and never working again is fading fast. With rising life expectancy and economic realities, many will work longer than previous generations imagined. You might not retire in the traditional sense. Instead, you'll work smarter, build multiple income sources, and stay active well into old age. So, are you ready to rethink retirement and take control of your financial future before it's forced upon you? Because the truth is, unless you plan carefully, working until you're 120 might not be a joke, it could be your reality.